And Arkansas is heading to the Super Six for the first time.
Presenting the University of Arkansas.
A tradition of excellence has been established. Every day,
I challenge myself to be better than yesterday.
To reach and improve my personal best.
to push my limits and boundaries. Every day, I pledge
my best.
one time, my time. Arkansas Gymnastics.
Compete to win.
All right, Razorback fans, stay on your feet and let's call those home!
We are ready for gymnastics. They will go through the 3-minute touch momentarily, but we are just about set. Arkansas will start on vault. Georgia will start on the bars. And Natalie, what is the rotation at this point for Arkansas on vault?
For Arkansas, Amy Borsellino will start off the lineup, followed by Bailey Zumwald, Kelsey Lewis, Heather Ellswick, Catherine Grable, and Erin Fryer. For Georgia, Chelsea Davis, Sarah Persinger, Lindsay Cheek.
Vault.
Oh, that's vault. I'm so sorry.
It's all
Lindsay
right.
Cheek will start off on bars. Kat Hires, Krista Tonella, Brittany Rogers, Shayla Worley, and Chelsea Davis. I was going to say, Chelsea is a bar specialist. She was a world champion. Why is she starting off on bars?
Yes, that's the one thing about the gymnastics score sheet.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go caddy corner on those.
And I don't like that.
So Fryer and Ellswick will get their first collegiate appearance out of the way in that
They
first
will.
rotation. Does that help? Go ahead and do that in the first rotation so you don't have to sit and wait.
I like to. I actually preferred competing at away meets because the opposing team starts on bars, and bars was always my event. So I really liked starting on bars. There at SECs my freshman year, we ended on balance beam, which meant bars. And when I was a freshman, that's whenever there was 7 teams in the SECs. We had 3 buys. Bars was the 6th out of 7th rotation for us. So I would much rather get it out of the way now. So yes, it's very good that the freshmen, at least 2 of the 4, are getting experience right away.
Trying to get the rotations up for you. Let's see.
And the 3-minute touch has started. Usually each girl on vault will get 2 vaults, 1 warm-up, and then 1 competition vault. While on bars, you usually get 1 turn. If you're lucky, you get 2. So we can see the Palm girls on the floor getting the crowd pumped up.
New Leos this year.
Yes, new Leos, in fact. And the warm-up leotard, I believe, it was a very pretty leotard. Unfortunately, you guys couldn't see it. At the gymnastics camp for young girls over the summer, one of the activities, because there were so many girls, we couldn't have all the girls in the gym. So one of the rotations during the camp was to design a leotard. And the winner of that, not only will the leotard be sold at the next gymnastics camp, but the gym backs were wearing it tonight. But the leotards you see now are not the ones designed by the one camper.
Having a little issue trying to display our scores, trying to get that resolved. Ah, the first meet, always interesting.
Can only go up from here, hopefully.
Yeah. Piece of cake.
Yeah. See some of the fans in the house. I'm surprised at how many fans there are, especially students. As we said earlier, school doesn't actually start until Monday. There are quite a few students and still some coming through the door.
So a good crowd on hand, a lot of red, as you might expect, with Arkansas and Georgia.
Both being red.
Yes. What is, okay, first meet of the year, what is a realistic expectation score-wise, do you think?
Well, last year we definitely exceeded the expectation by scoring a 196.45. At this point in the year, especially first meet, in the national average, I would say maybe a little under 196, possibly exceeding the 196 mark. That is a reasonable team score for this Arkansas Razorbacks team. And I only expect that team score to get higher as the girls get more experience and comfortable with season.
So we're just about set to go. It looks like Arkansas has concluded their warm-up on the vault. Georgia's about to wrap it up on bars.
And last week, Georgia scored a 49.15 on bars. And that was their second highest team score or event score for last meet, vault being their highest with a 49.3. So I would imagine we could see something around the 49.15 bar mark.
Best mark for the Razorbacks last year on the vault was the 49.4 against LSU. School records 49.45.
I believe that was the event score or event team total that
yes.
was that not only the team total score but the vault event score was the school record I couldn't think of.
Part of that LSU meet in which they set school records on 3 apparatus, so pretty amazing.
And then after that meet, we were ranked number 1.
Yep.
That was the highest attendance.
And
that was a good meet.
It was a very good meet. It looks like we're ready. Amy Borsellino, well, she was on the runway. She stepped off now. And of course, we have to wait for the judges to give her the okay. You can't just go up there and go off on your own. You have to wait for the green flag. And that is what Amy is waiting for now. And there it is. And we're set to go.
Amy will be vaulting what they call a Yurchenko full, a round off onto the springboard, back handspring onto the vaulting table with a full twisting layout. And it is done very nicely. Great way to start off the meet.
And the high fives from the teammates. Good start for Arkansas.
That'll be a good momentum for the Gymbacks.
And Lindsay Cheek now set to go for the Gym Dogs.
And Lindsay scored a 9.85 last week at home.
Led off
forward back handspring onto the vaulting table with a full twisting layout.
Georgia.
Very high release move. Tkachev, what she performs. Very clean set so far. Little pause on that cast handstand. That's normally not what you want to do. Good start for their team. I don't think that was 9.85 quality, but a good start for Georgia.
So we have our first 2 competitors in the book. Did not see the score for Borsellino. They are not. Looks like they're having a scoring issue, as kind of always happens that first meet.
Yep.
Bailey
Gotta get all the technical difficulties out of the way.
Yeah, Bailey you see on the runway. Trying to add replays this year, so bear with us if we missed the first part of her routine.
Amy got a 9.8.
Bailey's been cleared.
She competed the vault for the first time last year, and so now she's got her lineup spot for this year. She'll be competing Yurchenko full as well. Big hop at the end, but that's okay for the first meet. It'll still score well. It's very clean.
Bailey brings as much energy as anybody I have ever seen.
Here, she'll be competing Yurchenko full as well.
Gym back that I think has stepped foot into this program. Always having a smile on her face.
Yes, Kat Hires now set to go for the Gym Dogs. Tied her career best on bars last week.
Looks like Georgia got a 9.7, Lindsay Cheek. Very clean bar routine so far. Nice overshoot to handstand. Just the dismount left. Double layout. Very nice stuck landing. That's something you usually don't see the first meet, is such controlled landings. You usually see pretty much the whole lineup sticking their landings by nationals. So having a stuck landing as your second person is very good for Georgia.
Kelsey Lewis, the senior, ready to go.
And Kelsey will be competing in Yurchenko half twist. So she'll land away from the vault. Smaller step than what she did last year, very controlled. I think she's got her vault under control now that she's a senior. And Kelsey will be competing in Yurchenko half twist. So she'll land
away from the vault.
Smaller step.
9.75 for Bailey. Have not seen the score for Hires.
Don't think the judges have it quite yet.
So we have a little bit of delay.
Kelsey Lewis with a 9.85. Great way to start out the year for Kelsey. I know she's been in the gym really working hard on that landing, and it definitely showed tonight.
Krista Tinella set to go now for Georgia. Senior out of Lucas, Texas.
Krista and I trained at World Olympic Gymnastics Academy together. Kat Hires with a 9.725. Very high Jaeger from Krista Tinella. This is a very good routine for Georgia. Double tuck dismount.
Nice. Stuck the
That
landing.
was a very good routine.
Well, our little scoreboard that we run for you, unfortunately, we're having some issues with that. So we'll just have to pass them on verbally. And Heather Ellswick, one of the freshmen, set to go.
Heather also competes at Yurchenko full. Great vault by Heather. Much improved from when I last saw in the gym.
That drew a hog call from the fans. Brittany Rogers set to go now for Georgia. Noelle Couch, their best gymnast, is out this meet. She was out last week as well. She's week to week.
She fractured her thumb. So that can make gymnastics a little difficult.
A little difficult. Rogers competed, by the way, for Canada in the Olympics this past summer.
Wow.
Joined the team in December.
9.825, I believe I saw for Heather Ellswick. And Krista Tonella with a 9.85 for Georgia on bars. I think we can see why Rogers made the Olympic team for Canada.
Wow, she
solid
nailed that.
team.
Very good.
That was great.
Catherine Grable set to go for Arkansas.
Catherine is the only one on the team that does not compete a Yurchenko full. I personally cannot pronounce the name of this vault she competes. It was not done first by an American. Wow.
Very nice.
That's the kind of vault you expect from Catherine Grable every single time. Very nice.
Shayla Worley next to go for Georgia. She was an All-American on the beam last year. Senior out of Orlando, Florida.
Brittany Rogers with a 9.825.
Wow, I thought she should have got a little higher than that.
I would have given her a higher score, definitely. Little low on her first cast handstand. Little low on that one as well. Very nice Tkachev. Double layout, little jello with the legs, but she'll strengthen that as season comes on.
Last time on vault for Arkansas, Catherine Grable with a 9.875.
9.875 for Grable. And now the other freshman set to go for Arkansas, Erin Fryer.
She competes a Yurchenko full, but as the other girls, they competed in a layout position, while Erin will be competing it in a tuck position.
Very nice. Wow. First meet and then competing in the 6th spot. Holy cow. She responded very well.
Yes. It's hard competing in the 6th spot, but in vault or bars is the event I would personally pick because it's the quicker of the 4 events.
Yeah.
Floor and beam take a little bit, so that was good for Erin to be able to compete and handle it very well in that 6th spot.
Chelsea Davis set to go now. Tied for first on the bars last week against Oklahoma. 9.875 for the sophomore from Austin, Texas.
And bars is Chelsea Davis's specialty. She was on the world team back in 2007, I believe. It's been a while.
9.775 for Worley.
You got that.
And a 9.725 for Fryer.
So for the Razorbacks, even though 6 compete, 5 scores count. So Erin's score will be dropped. And a 9.725 is not a bad score to be dropping for the first meet.
Stuck the landing.
And that is why Chelsea Davis is a specialist on this event. Always solid.
All-American last year on vault, bars, and floor. So really a solid rotation for both teams.
I knew it was going to be a battle from the start. And it looks like we're going to have an exhibition on bars for Georgia. Brandy J, a freshman.
She performed an exhibition last week on the bars.
Oh, okay.
And since we're having the issues with the stats, we do want to let you know, since you are watching this online, the stat link is on the schedule page for gymnastics, so you can follow along with that. Make it small and refresh it often so you can see the stats in addition to watching the live streaming. 49-1 for Arkansas in the first rotation.
Great way to start the meet.
Davis with a 9.850 for Georgia. So they'll drop a 9.725.
Oh no, they'll be dropping the 9.7 with Lindsay Cheek.
Oh, that's right. Yes, they will.
It looks like that Arkansas will have a slight edge. Yes, 3/4 of a tenth. And for that routine to be an exhibition, that's great for Georgia, knowing that they, and maybe a little scary, knowing that they have depth on bars, but that was a great routine for an exhibition.
All right, Razorback fans, we had 4 Razorbacks with a 9.8 or better on
4 Razorbacks with a 9.8 or better. That's not a bad way to start off that first rotation.
Way to start.
So as a result, they'll throw some T-shirts into the crowd and work the crowd up into a frenzy.
I've always wanted to know what those T-shirts look like. I've never gotten one. They don't throw it up here at us.
So Arkansas will move to the bars. Georgia will move to the vault. It looks like 49.025 will be the first rotation score for Georgia. So Arkansas with a .075 lead. As we head to the second rotation. First, a little feature for you.
Hi, I'm Sydney Dillard, and this is Shelby Salmon, and she's going to show you a side aerial. A side aerial is basically a cartwheel with no hands, and we use our cue words. First she stretches, bends, kicks, and then tied at the end. Skills are ranked as either A, B, C, D, or E, and a side aerial is a D, so it's under the second hardest category. The most important thing for this skill is your leg muscles and your core. Use your leg muscles to kick, and then you have to keep your core tight at the end so you don't wobble. I'm Sydney, and this is Shelby, and now you'll know what a side aerial is when you see it in our balance beam routine.
One of the new features this year, the gymnology segment. Help the fans and help us all know a little more about gymnastics. So 49.100 for Arkansas in the first rotation. Georgia 49.025. We're still waiting the official scores to be brought up. Unofficially, Arkansas led by Catherine Grable with a 9.875. And
board back handspring onto the vaulting table with a full
Chelsea
twisting
Davis,
layout.
the top gym
and it is done very nice.
On the bars. Take a look at the vaults for the Razorbacks.
All right, now, welcome back to the floor, your Arkansas Razorback cheerleader.
So as we take a look at some of the vaults from the last rotation, go over the bar lineup for us, Natalie, after you catch your breath.
I've got it now, I'm good. Amy Borsellino will be starting off the gym backs with Heather Ellswick, seeing her for the second time tonight. Shelby Salmon, a first look at Kiara Glover, Catherine Grable, and Kelsey Lewis. Kelsey hasn't competed bars since her freshman year, so she has improved much since then. And for vault, Chelsea Davis, Sarah Persinger, Lindsay Cheek, Brittany Rogers, Kat Hires, and Brandy J will anchor for the Georgia Gym Dogs.
Last week, Georgia had a 49.3, so they will try to top that tonight.
Highest event mark for that meet.
For Arkansas, the record on bars is a 49.45, set last year against LSU.
Most amazing meet in school history.
Yes.
As we keep saying.
The school record is a 9.950. So let me ask you this, speaking of scores, is this the year 11, is this the year we see a perfect 10?
If it doesn't happen, I don't know when. Maybe next year. The person if I had to pick one athlete to do it, it'd be Catherine Grable. Whether it was, I mean, she's strong in all 4 events, but vault or beam would have to be, or even floor, maybe bars. She's so good on all 4 events. She could do it anywhere.
Well, we thought we were going to see one last year because it was the 10th year.
Right.
And
10th year, perfect
10 was the big number, but unfortunately we did not.
Jamie came close. I believe she got a 9975 on floor.
Yes.
2 or 3 times?
9975,
so close.
Yes. And it was debatable, if I remember right, we had a little bit of debate up here at least, whether or not it should have been a 10.
I mean,
if I recall correctly.
I believe it should have been a 10.
And I think the crowd thought it should have been a 10, but unfortunately the judges didn't quite see it that way.
Even though my freshman year, when we traveled to University of Minnesota, Jamie scored a 9975 on floor, which she's very good at getting. One judge gave her a 10. The other judge gave her a 995. I just don't understand how you can...
Isn't that what happened last year? Didn't one of the judges give her a 10?
I believe so. I mean, even being a competitive gymnast since I was 7, I still don't understand how judges can have such different scores.
Yeah.
I mean, half a tenth, quarter of a tenth, I can understand that. But a tenth or more, I just... That's one thing I don't understand.
Yes. I think everybody kind of struggles with that. Well, the time touch is over, but of course vault can do as much as they need as the crowd spells out hogs.
The girls are given 2 vaults in warm-up, while the other events are followed by time.
Now, how tough is this when you're on bars and the other team's kind of, still going on vault? Understandably, I mean, they can do that.
Right.
But, I mean, once you get ready, how tough is it to have to kind of wait, even if it's not very long, but it feels like an eternity?
I mean, and this is something that they do in the gym. They practice this. So the girls are actually used to having to wait. I've been in scenarios where even when I went to the gym last week, they warmed up bars and then went over to beam and competed.
Oh, wow.
And then tumbled on floor and then went back to bars, had their 1 touch. So, I mean, they're used to, and with a 5-minute wait in between, of course, but they're used to and trained for these waiting processes.
Oh, so it's just hard on us.
Yes.
Okay.
We just want to get the meet going.
Yes. So both teams have broken their huddles, and we're just about set to go. Chelsea Davis will lead it off for the Gym Dogs.
Let's see Chelsea Davis with a nice Yurchenko full. Little step at the end, very good job. You can see her with a knee brace. She had, I do believe, she did have knee surgery. I'm not quite sure what it was, but it was very minor.
See Amy Borsellino getting some last-minute instruction from Mark Cook.
On bars for Arkansas, Amy Borsellino.
Amy competing bars last year for the very first time. Did all around at that, and she's doing it again tonight. Nice high Tkachev. Nice pace for her routine. You never like to see a lot of breaks or pauses, so her routine is flowing very nicely. Great bar routine for the gym backs.
Cat Hires now set to go for Georgia.
Chelsea Davis with a 9.8.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you did the same thing.
Yeah, Persinger's our first look at her, the sophomore.
Pachenko full. Slight hop and step at the end. That'll be something that will be cleaned up by the end of the season. First meet away jitters for the Georgia Gym Dogs. Seeing a few of those tonight. Second look at Heather.
9.8 for Persinger.
9.775 for Amy Borsellino. Heather will open with a Jaeger. Little close on that. Full pirouette to double tuck. Great start for the freshman. And that routine will only improve. Heather didn't even come in as a bar specialist. Mark and Renee really liked her for her vault and her floor. She actually made bar lineup this year. Very nice Pachenko full from Lindsay Cheek. She was one of those girls like me who graduated high school early, came to Georgia her freshman year right after Christmas, and her freshman year did a vault very similar to that and was a first-team All-American her freshman year.
And now we'll get our first look at Shelby Salmon.
Shelby posted a career high last year. I believe it was a 9.95. Shelby has improved immensely from her freshman year, and I expect nothing less from this year.
9.925.
9.925. I was close.
At Florida.
I was close.
On bars for Arkansas, Shelby Salmon.
In fact, she broke her career high on bars quite often last year.
Heather with a 9.575. She caught really close on that release move. And that is somewhat big deduction, and a few of her cast handspins were a little short, but that's something that Mark will definitely be working on with her this next week in practice. Shelby has very beautiful lines on this event. Double layout, small hop.
Brittany Rogers set to go now for the Gym Dogs.
That was really good vault.
She stuck it.
We can see why Georgia had their highest event total on vault. To be able to stick as many landings as they have so far.
Yeah, very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Kira Glover set to go now, making her collegiate debut. The Oklahoma City native. 9.875. The score for Rogers.
Shelby with a 9.775. I thought that deserved to be just a tad bit higher.
Very good debut for Miss Glover.
Very impressive. I knew.
You were a little nervous on that one, weren't you?
I haven't seen her on bars. I haven't watched her. I missed her in practice when I went last week. So being the former gymnast that I am, I can't really sit still.
Cat Hires.
Another step vault for Georgia.
Tied her career high last week, the 9.925 on vault. See if she equaled that again. Just sticks it. Boy, they are just sticking the landings tonight.
Those little tenths will be the deciding factor of who wins this competition.
Catherine Grable set to go now. Junior out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Her career best on the bars is a 9.9.
Now on bars for Arkansas.
Came twice last year.
Nice high Jaeger from Catherine. Double front dismount. It's a blind landing. Pretty hard to land.
Wow.
But she handles it nicely. I wouldn't expect anything different from Catherine.
Wow. Brandy J set to close it out for Georgia. 9.875 the last week for her.
One and a half twists. Almost stuck it. That's something you don't see every day. Yurchenko 1.5. That, like Catherine's bar dismount, blind landing, very difficult to land.
Wow.
And although the Yurchenko full that you see most girls compete starts from a 10.0, that also starts from a 10.0, but it's just the brownie points that usually the judges give for competing such a difficult vault, and different vaults, I should say.
So you get the benefit of the doubt, so to speak.
Yes.
Kelsey Lewis set to go now. 9.775 is her career high, coming in 2010 in the meet against Auburn. $9.775 for Grable.
Double layout dismount for Kelsey.
Boy, a lot going on in that routine.
That was good. That was really good for Kelsey, considering she hasn't competed since freshman year.
Yeah. So that'll bring the second rotation to a close.
With the multiple sticks from Georgia, I do believe Georgia is now going to have a slight edge over Arkansas. But Arkansas that far behind, I can't. I guess
sure,
I won't
but
know.
It was 49-325 for the Gym Dogs. They tossed out a 9-8. A pair of 9-9s.
Arkansas hoping that Kelsey Lewis scored higher than a 9.575, so we'd be able to drop that score.
Each slip has a number on it between 1 and 100. What I want you to do, go ahead, reach under your seat right now.
So anything surprise you so far as we've reached the halfway point?
Go ahead, reach under
Or what stood out to you the most?
Oh gosh. I was really impressed by our vault lineup. And how many, and let's see, we've had 2 freshmen on vault and 2 freshmen on bars. I'm impressed by, as we spoke earlier, how the freshmen are going to be contributing a lot this year. And I'm really impressed with how well they've handled themselves so far. Kelsey with a 9.725. So Heather's 9.575 will be dropped, and they will not be using that score.
Don't forget, fans, group tickets available, groups of 10 or more for more information.
Georgia, with all of their stick landings, has about a half point lead on Arkansas.
Yeah, 97.825 for Arkansas, 98.350 for Georgia. As we reach the halfway point for the Gym Dogs, they're on pace pretty easily for a 186.
Georgia is ready.
Or 196.
Yes. For a 196, you need to average a 49 on each event.
So they're off to a good start.
Is Arkansas ready?
And Georgia will be rotating to the event that they struggled on last week. So I'm definitely anticipating how they're going to respond.
And Arkansas is ready. Let's go ahead and start the 3-minute touch warm-up.
So we're going to go ahead and start the warm-up.
Let's hear you. Get on your feet and call.
They're going to call the Hogs. Let's listen in. So we're about halfway through the touch for the third rotation. We are halfway through the meet. And Georgia.
I believe it's a half a point lead right now.
Half a point lead, but unfortunately our live stats run a little bit behind. Don't have our sheet up here yet, so kind of at the mercy of the printed paper. Arkansas will go on beam, Georgia on floor. Again, next week, Arkansas on the road. As the scores have arrived at Kentucky, who's ranked this week. And Georgia, as we mentioned earlier, is going to have 2 meets at home next Friday against Auburn, and then on Monday against Stanford. So 98.350 for Georgia, 97.825 for Arkansas. And would you like to give us the lineup for rotation 3?
For the gym backs will be Amy Borsellino, freshman Erin Fryer, Shelby Salmon, Kiera Glover, Sydney Dillard, Catherine Grable, and you'll notice 3 names, new names, 3 freshmen. So
that's a lot.
That is a lot. I'm telling you, the freshmen, they're a big part of this year. And then for floor, Kaylin Earls, Krista Tanella, Kat Hires, Sarah Persinger, Brandy J, and Shayla Worley.
Borsellino and Grable, the only all-arounders. Georgia not having an all-arounder.
I didn't notice that.
In the all-around category, Grable holds the lead over Borsellino, 19.65 to 19.575.
Georgia's all-arounder, Noelle Couch, who we mentioned earlier, out with a fractured thumb. I do believe she's done all-around, I would think every meet since she's been a freshman, or else somewhat close. Noelle is a very good competitor, very good gymnast. Hopefully Georgia will have her back by the end of the year.
She competed in the all-around, the school record 28 consecutive meets until missing last week. So she had been a rock and anchor in their lineup. And hopefully for Georgia, she'll be back full strength and ready to go.
One event I could see her not coming back so quickly on would be bars.
Is that the hardest one to...
Well, just with her thumb.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. As you see Renee Liss giving some last-minute instruction to Borsellino.
Now, to begin the third rotation,
Amy is just about set to go.
for Arkansas, Amy Borsellino.
9.875 is her career high. Came last year in the meet against West Virginia.
And I do believe, or no, I'm sorry, Scarlett Williams was always the leadoff last year. I would say Amy was always solid last year. Someone they can trust as the leadoff, as she stumbles a little bit on her side summy. Very difficult skill, landing facing the side of the beam. Not something different than what you saw from the gymnology, the side aerial. You land forward, side summy, land sideways. Back handspring layout. A little short there. Very solid on that front flip kickover to wolf jump. Round off 1.5, little hop. Definitely into the routine well.
Now, on floor for Georgia, Kaylin Earls.
Kaylin Earls now, our first look at her. .985 last week against Oklahoma.
Kaylin's always been a very powerful tumbler and vaulter. Unfortunately, her freshman year, right before season, she ruptured her Achilles. But I don't think that injury has really affected her after the fact. First 2 tumbling passes have been very solid. No major landing errors.
Nine 6-5-0 for Borsellino.
Those 2 wobbles definitely hurt her. Double tuck for Earls. That was probably one of the most fun floor routines I've seen in a while.
And
Got the crowd into
start.
it. Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed her music. Erin Fryer now for Arkansas.
Very pretty leap sequence. Double stag with her head back, taking her eyes off the beam. Very difficult to land. Two back handsprings to a back layout.
Ooh.
First foot that landed on the beam slipped. Putting a lot more pressure on the rest of the lineup, including freshmen Sydney and Kiera. Small hop forward. And a fall like that will be a half of a point deduction. And Arkansas will hope that that score will be dropped, considering 6 girls in lineups, only 5 scores are counting.
Krista Tanella set to go now. Did not see the score for Earls.
9-8.
9-8.
Just popped up.
I thought that might be a little higher.
Double pike for Tanella. Just a little low. And very close to landing out of bounds. Covered it very well.
And 9.0 for Fryer. I like Georgia's music.
One thing I did notice that in the warm-ups while I was on the floor with both teams, Georgia's floor music this year is a lot more energetic and instrumental versions of songs you'd hear on the radio, which is definitely a big crowd factor. maybe even the judges would like it better since they would know the words.
Krista Tanella for Georgia.
Another solid floor routine
Now,
for the
on
Gym
beat
Dogs.
for Arkansas, Shelby Solomon.
Shelby Solomon now set to go for Arkansas. Shelby's career high is 9.850. Came at the NCAA championships last year.
That was an incredible beam rotation by the Razorbacks at Nationals. Definitely why they got into the Super 6 competition. Solid start so far from Shelby. .9875 for Krista Tanella on the floor. I do believe I said Kaylin Earls got a 9.8 on floor when it was actually 9.7, unless I read that incorrectly. I think it just said something different. Yeah, it says 9.7 on the scoreboard over there. Something changed. A great routine for Shelby, especially following Aaron Fryer with Aaron's fall. Good momentum for Kiera.
Kat Hires now set to go for Georgia.
Double pike opening. Very close to the edge. I did not see a judge's hand go up. So she did not step out of the bounds. You step out of bounds on the floor exercise, it is a 1/10 deduction. Shelby with a 9.75 for the Razorbacks. Little low on that landing. Double tuck landing, very low, took 2 steps forward. Something you want to try to avoid, especially since that's the last thing the judges see.
Our second look at Glover. Very nice.
Full twisting back handspring from Kiera Glover. Something you definitely don't see that often. Side aerial, straight to a back handspring. Very solid. She is handling the pressure very well. This is a great routine for Kiera so far. No major mistakes, no major wobbles. And a stuck dismount. Wow. What a way to start your career here.
And she just joined the team?
And she just joined the team.
Wow.
See Bailey fist bumping in slow motion in that replay.
That's awesome. Sarah Persinger now set to go. Sophomore out of Mount Holly, North Carolina. Was an All-American last year on the floor.
As a freshman as well. Very impressive. She struggled with that in warm-ups. Good to see. Landed a lot better. .9.8 for Kiera, highest mark so far for the Razorbacks. Looked as if her foot was very close to coming out on that double pike. Last tumbling pass. You can see why she's an All-American on the floor. That was very good.
Very nice.
That was very good.
On beam for Arkansas, Sydney Dillard.
Sydney Dillard set to go. Another of the Arkansas freshmen.
First look at Sydney. And Sydney is someone that I've been very impressed with in preseason. On any inter-squad mock meet the girls had in the gym, Sydney was always solid on this event. So pretty to watch. Reminds me a lot of former gym back Stacy Bartlett. You can tell Sydney likes to incorporate a lot of leaps into her routine. Sydney has amazing flexibility, can hit the 180 mark on all of her leaps, sticks to dismount.
For Arkansas. Now on floor for Georgia,
Brandy J set to go for Georgia.
There's a unique start.
Yeah.
Dogs barking. Double pike. Sydney with a 9.875. Wow. Very impressive by Brandy J. Front double fold to an immediate punch front. From the angle that we're at, it looked like she had a little bit of a struggle, but was able to pull it out. Normally you just see a front handspring front double full. She has the ability to do a punch front after that. Last pass for Brandy. Double tuck. Ooh, very big jump at the very end. Looked like her feet slipped out from under her. Very nice routine up until that. So on the replay, yes, it looked like she...
A little short.
Looked like she tried to land the double tuck before her feet even hit by bringing her chest up. She bounced backwards. That'll be a big deduction, but not as much as putting your hands down.
Catherine Gable set to go now. 9.95, her career high, and that came at the NCAA Championships.
Catherine makes the beam look like it's about 4 feet wide when it's really only 4 inches wide. Just so graceful. It makes everything look very easy. Nice front aerial to back handspring layout. No problem there. No problem for Catherine so far on anything she's done. Catherine, like Sydney, great flexibility, likes to incorporate a lot of leaps along with her multiple flips that she does, making for very difficult combinations. Round off double pike dismount. Such a difficult routine. The fact that she has to wait so long is just so impressive, that she can do it so well.
Shayla Worley now set to go, the senior, with a 9.950 is her career high. And came as a freshman, 2010.
Double pike mount. Catherine Grable with a 9.875. So Erin Fryer's 9.0 will be dropped for the Razorbacks. Shayla was unable to complete that twist. Supposed to be a front 1.5. Looked more like a front 1.25. That'll be a big deduction. Last pass for Shayla.
This concludes our third round of competition. Gymnasts, please rotate to your next event. Coaches signal when you're ready to start the 3-minute touch format. For the fourth rotation,
3 rotations now in the books.
Razorback fans, we had 3
Arkansas at 146.775 unofficially, and Georgia at 146.975. So a point.
I do believe Shayla's score will be
that's right.
higher than Brandy's.
Yeah. Toss some t-shirts, and after the t-shirt toss, we will have another video for you. Gymnology. There'll be a quiz later. see. But we are back, and we are officially at 147.175 for Georgia. Arkansas, 146.775. So Arkansas with a little work to do as we head into the floor routine. 0.4.
They definitely gained some ground, though.
Can they gain enough in this fourth rotation?
Well, with beam being the last event for Georgia, beam is usually where, if mistakes happen, most people would bet that would happen on beam. And with floor being such a strong event for Arkansas, there's a possibility, definitely. And since this is Georgia's first meet away from Athens, this is their first meet ending on beam, it'll be interesting how they handle the pressure going into this last event.
48.975 was their score on beam last week.
We'll start their warm-up.
So we will see what happens. For Arkansas, let's see. Oh, 49.425 is the school record.
And it's,
we're actually 49.525 is the school record. Last year was,
and that's not something you would necessarily see the first meet.
No, but you wouldn't mind.
What?
You'd take it, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll take it for sure. That'd be a great way to start the season with that.
But so far, I'd say a pretty solid start for Arkansas here in 2013.
Oh, definitely. They're on the track for my prediction, which was a high 195, low 196. They're definitely on their way to that.
And they're going to get better. That's the exciting thing.
Yes, they're definitely going to get better. We're going to have Bailey Zumwald, All-American, start us off on floor, followed by Sydney Dillard, Heather Ellswick, All-American Kelsey Lewis, Amy Borsellino, All-American Catherine Grable. And Georgia will end on beam with Lindsay Cheek, Sarah Persinger, Brittany Rogers, Krista Tonella, Shayla Worley, and Kaylin Earls.
Got 4 All-Americans, granted not in this event.
Yes.
We have 4 All-Americans in the final group for Arkansas. It's
definitely a confidence booster, especially since this is most likely going to be the lineup we see for most of the year.
school record is a 9.975, as we discussed earlier. Paisani last year. About halfway through this touch. Just a good look at the crowd. Have not seen an official attendance number, but
students
it's got to be one of the better season opening crowds that I can recall.
I believe my freshman year, when the last season opener was in Fayetteville, school wasn't in session yet, and I don't remember this many students showing up that first meet.
Great to see the little kids out.
I think it also has to do with the weather.
Yeah,
my freshman year, there was a lot of snow for some reason.
I think that was the last time we had snow. Pretty much.
Yeah. School was canceled for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind.
But then again,
we didn't have that many fans at our meet, unfortunately, because of the inclement weather.
Kentucky meet, especially. I remember
Kentucky, yes. Kentucky was. We love having a lot of fans at every meet, but especially SEC meets, we want to have more.
This concludes your predictions of what judges may pick control on more events.
Floor coach, assistant coach Samantha Cortez giving the Gymnastics one last word of advice before they go into their last and final event of the night?
Shout out to Scott Finley, who's likely watching our stream in Birmingham, Alabama. And a shout out to everybody watching tonight on Razor Vision, and those of you watching on your iPad with the new Arkansas Razorbacks iPad app, streaming HD video. Hope you are enjoying that, as you will be able to do for all the home meets gymnastics this season.
Georgia will start off the final rotation on the balance beam. Lindsay Cheek, the first one up for Georgia.
Now, to begin the fourth and final rotation on beam for Georgia.
Her career high is a 9.850. Did not compete on the beam last year.
And I watched Lindsay's routine from last week. Her music corresponds to a unique dance move in her balance beam routine. Can you guess what it is before she does it?
Michael Jackson moonwalk?
Yep. It's really cool, actually.
I don't know that I've seen anyone moonwalk on a beam before.
I'm not sure it's a dance move Renee would necessarily allow in the beam routines.
Sweet.
Done very well at that.
Very nice.
Solid start for the Georgia Gym Dogs.
Very good. I like the moonwalk. That was cool. All right. Bailey will get it going. 9.85, the career high. 3 times it occurred last year, including at the NCAA Championships,
where she earned her All-American status. All-American awards are awarded at
second team, yes,
the national championship. Ever since Bailey's freshman year, she's been the lineup spot, or the first in the lineup spot. Coaches are very confident in her. Always a crowd favorite, just because of her energy. Solid start so far. .85 for Lindsay Cheek on the bounce beam. Great routine for the Razorbacks to start out with.
Just
signature fist pump after
energy.
every routine.
The energy she brings is just amazing. Sarah Persinger set to go for Georgia. 9.850 is her career high.
Back handspring layout, very solid. Bailey with a 9.8 to start off for the Razorbacks. Slight wiggle. Sarah showing off her very unique flexibility. Dismount left. Round off 1.5 with a nice stuck landing.
Impressive.
On floor for the Razorbacks, Sydney Dillard.
Sydney Dillard has been introduced and ready to go. The freshman kinesiology major from Fairview, Texas.
Front 1.5. Sarah Persinger with a 9.775 for the Gym Dogs. Front full, front layout. Very solid for Sydney. She's having a great meet so far. One and a half front layout. Very nice routine. Great job by
Very
Sydney.
nice. Persinger with a 9.775. Now, Brittany Rogers, the Canadian Olympian, set to go. Helped Team Canada earn a spot in the team final for the first time in a non-boycotted Olympic Games.
Wow. Full twisting back handspring. Very similar to one you saw of Tiara Glover, except she took a little pause in hers.
Very impressive.
Front aerial to back handspring. She most likely will not be getting credit for that combination. For front aerial back handspring. Sydney with a 9.85. Wow.
Stuck the landing.
Georgia has been very consistent about that.
Very impressive. Another freshman from Arkansas, Heather Ellswick, out of Austin, Texas, a former two-time level 10 national competitor. Majoring in pre-med.
Double pike to start off the routine, done very nicely. Second pass. Round off 1.5 front layout. No problems there. .625 for Brittany Rogers on the balance beam for Georgia. Little stumble on Heather's landing. Covered it pretty well.
Krista Tanella set to go now. 9.9, her career high.
Not something we usually see all the time, and unfortunately, we've seen that twice tonight, where the first foot that lands slips on the balance beam, causing the gymnast to slip the beam. But finishes her routine very well.
Maybe a slim opening for Arkansas. They just have been amazing on their landings tonight, Georgia has. All right, Kelsey Lewis next for Arkansas. Second team All-American on the floor last year in 2011. Her career high, a 9.90. Came against Oklahoma.
Kelsey Lewis.
Did you know Kelsey was born in Fort Smith, even though she went to high school in Oklahoma?
I did know that, actually.
Yes.
Because there's been 2 Razorbacks, I believe, from Arkansas. Or born in Arkansas, I should say. 3?
3. Well, no, 2.
Maybe Amanda Seberg.
Yep.
And Kelsey were both born in Arkansas. And Kelsey's first pass in Arabian double front steps out of bounds. That'll be a 1/10 deduction. Very difficult pass to land. Blind landing. Much better second pass. Krista Tanella with a 9.275. Heather Ellswick had a 9.775. Last pass, double pike.
Good finish for Kelsey.
Only major problem was that first pass, stepping out of bounds. Otherwise, that was a great routine for Kelsey.
Shayla Worley set to go on the beam. 9.950 is her career high. Came last year at Alabama. She is a marketing and advertising major, minoring in Spanish. Very smooth.
Very excellent beam worker. Another full twisting back handspring. Very unique combination.
Wow.
Very difficult, unique.
Very good.
Unique
That brought the Georgia fans to their feet, as you might imagine. Very, very nice routine. Take a look at that dismount again. Didn't see the feet, but she absolutely stuck it.
I do believe all of the Georgia gym dogs
have just been incredible. And now Amy Borsellino will step onto the floor. Career high is 9.9. Came twice last year.
9.85 for Kelsey Lewis, even with the 10th deduction. And
wow.
I can looking at the judges' scores. Judge 1 gave 9.8. Judge 2 gave 9.9. So that may have been Judge 2's only mistake in that routine.
Wow.
Very impressive. Shayla with a 9.9, very deserving. Oh, Kelsey with a 9.75. They did not deduct that 1/10 on the main. Amy Borsellino. And a very high and well done Arabian double front. One and a half punch front. Wasn't able to get her feet underneath her body after the 1.5 going into her punch front, causing her to under rotate and not able to land correctly. Last pass, double pike. Just a little low.
Kaylin Earls will now close it out for Georgia. 9.9 her career high on beam. She is the regular season beam MVP for the Gym Dogs.
Back handspring, back layout. Very difficult to do. Slight wiggle on that leap sequence. Round off double tuck dismount.
Wow.
Very impressive.
Now, I know they don't pick the beam music, but that
yes.
Fit. Oh, they do?
They do.
Okay.
They do.
I didn't think they did. That is perfect.
When
not all do, though, do they?
At opposing.
That's the first boom routine I can recall that was really in time with the music. It was really good.
It was definitely
Maybe I
time.
need to pay attention more.
Usually the girls don't necessarily choreograph their beam routines to music. It's more of what they're comfortable with that helps them calm
Kind of
down.
background noise, yeah.
Correct.
It was like a floor routine on the beam.
Yeah.
That was cool.
But sometimes the opposing team, since Georgia traveling to Arkansas, they are required to ask permission to see if they can play their own beam music that they picked out. And Arkansas always says yes. But there are some schools that say no.
Yeah.
Catherine Grable
said yes to that first pass. Very impressive.
Yes.
9.95, the career high for Catherine. Did 3 times last year. And Arkansas could really use a 9.95 if they're going to catch Georgia. Wow, that was nice.
Most impressive floor tumbling pass I've ever seen. Back 1.5 to a front full to a front half layout step out. Catherine being so small, she can fit all those flips into the into the tumbling pass. Last pass double pike.
Wow, she nailed it.
I do believe that's 9.95 worthy.
And it does look like we will have an exhibition for Georgia.
Yes.
Solid routine for Grable.
Katie Brazil.
And that brings the perfect 10 signs out as the hog call breaks out.
Kaylin Earls with a 9.875 to end it for Georgia. Katie Brazil with a back handspring layout, done very nicely.
Performed a beam routine in the exhibition, an exhibition one last week, so getting some
good practice.
Good practice. There's probably more, in a way, more pressure with this because it's the last performance of the meet and everybody is watching you.
All eyes are on you.
Unofficially 49.025 for Georgia in that rotation and a 49 even for Arkansas. So
I do believe Georgia was going to be coming away with the win.
yes, Arkansas unofficially at 195.775 and Georgia 196.2.
Which is not a bad start for Arkansas.
No, not at all. And for Georgia, that's an improvement over last week. So I'll tell you what, they're going to be a team to definitely watch.
Mm-hmm.
Nicely done. Not that Georgia's ever bad, but they kind of have it back. You know what I'm saying?
They're definitely on the way up. After head coach Suzanne Yocklin retired, the team kind of went through like an identity crisis. Yeah. They went through a struggle.
But their dismounts tonight were incredible. I mean, that was probably...
Their coaches have done a very nice job with that.
And for Arkansas, good meet. Boy, these newcomers.
Yes, man. Very impressive. The freshmen did a great job. Like the team, they're only going to improve.
A lot of
but they set the mark very high for themselves and the team.
Mm-hmm. A lot of upside,
so well.
They would say.
Yes.
For these freshmen. So 49 even in the floor. 48.95 on beam. 48.725 on bars. And a 49.1 on vault. That's pretty salty for the first meet. For Georgia on bars, they went 49.025 and followed that up with 49.325. Or I'm sorry, the first one was on bars. 49.325 on vault. That's very, very good, obviously. 48.825. They're going to get better.
Yes.
And that was better than
it's
what they did last
week.
And beam, honestly, they might have been underscored at 49.025.
I would say that I thought they were a little underscored on floor as well, but
Did I say overscored? I meant to say underscored. I thought
you said underscored.
Okay.
That's where I got
Is
the
that
word from.
something we're going to see maybe too, and we've seen this before, will the scores, are the scores tied? I can't remember. The scores tend to be a little tighter at first.
Yes, just because
And then
the
go up
girls
and then come back
themselves,
down.
yes.
Yeah.
Usually you'll see an increase throughout the season of scores and team scores. And usually at the regional competitions and national competitions, because there are there's 2 judges for each event at home meets like this, but at regionals and nationals, there are 8 judges. So scores are 6 judges. 8 judges? There's a lot of judges.
A lot of judges.
There's a lot of judges, and the scoring is a lot tighter.
Yeah. Well, 2 rotations at 49 or above.
Which is good.
You'll take that.
Yes.
Georgia had 3.
Which is expected. They had 1 meet under their belt. This is our first meet.
Yeah. So, all in all, a good meet for both teams and one that they can build on. Arkansas at Kentucky next week, and then back here for a back-to-back homestand, if you will. Denver and then Florida. Then off to Auburn and LSU. Then back here for Alabama, then the Quad, featuring Missouri, and then on the road. And of course, the SEC Championships in North Little Rock. 2 sessions this year. Right, 2 sessions this year. The 5, 6, 7, and 8 seeds will be at 2. The top 4 seeds will go at 6 o'clock. So you'll want to get your tickets for that because that is going to be a phenomenal meet this year.
I would say it's going to be similar to the national championship. I mean,
it's probably harder meet to win than the national championship, wouldn't you say?
Well, there's 12 teams qualified in nationals, and of those, the 12 teams, they're broke up into 6 teams in 2 competitions.
So it's going to be like a mini.
So yes, it is very similar.
Only without the Super 6.
Correct.
The following day, where anything can happen. So let's send it down to John Williams for the announcement of tonight's results.
In first place on vault, there was a tie for first place with 9.90 from Georgia, Lindsay Cheek. Also in first place with a score of 9.9 from Georgia, Kat Hires. Let's have a round of applause for our winners on the vault competition. Now, for the top finishers in bars, there was a tie for first place with a score of 9.85 from Georgia, Krista Tanella. Also in first place with a score of 9.85 from Georgia, Chelsea Davis. Let's have a round of applause for our top finishers in the bars competition. And now for the top finisher in beam with a score of 9.90 from Georgia, Shayla Worley. Let's have a round of applause for our top finisher in the beam competition. And now the top finisher in floor with a score of 9.925 from Arkansas, Catherine Grable. Let's have a big round of applause for our top finisher in the floor competition. And now, tonight's all-around champion with an all-around score of 39.45 from Arkansas, Catherine Grable. Ladies and gentlemen, your all-around champion for tonight, Catherine Grable. And in the team competition, tonight's winning team with a score of 196.2 is the Georgia Bulldogs. Don't forget you can keep up with the Gymbacks this season by following them online at ArkansasRazorbacks.com, on Facebook at Razorback Gymnastics, or on Twitter at Razorback Gym. Thanks again for attending tonight's competition. Please drive home safely. Good night, everybody.
So a good night here at Barnhill Arena. Georgia again wins at 196.2, Arkansas 195.6.